Hey, what up? It's your boy Saint Lucid again. This is another video on the Goddism series, and today I want to be talking about the true you, the real you, the godly you. Okay, so I want to start by saying that there's this big lie that's been going around that we are human beings and that's where it stops. We are more than just our physical body, alright? The body represents us, but it's not the true us. It's not the true you, it's not the true me. It's just a vehicle, it's just a projection, alright? It's just a tent that the true us lives within, alright? I'm going to quote the Bible on this one. It says that the body is the temple. Alright, the temple of God. So your body is the temple that God resides within. Alright, so you are not just this shell. Alright, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see saint, but within is the true essence of saint, the true godly essence of saint. Alright, so when you look at yourself, don't judge yourself by what you look like. You know that you are more than just what's on the outside. Alright? You are more. So they've thrown this big lie around that we are just human beings, when we are multi-dimensional beings. You are a multi-dimensional being. This is just a projection. It's like when you go to bed at night and you see yourself. You should already be remembering your dreams. If you don't remember your dreams, go and check my previous videos on the lucid dreaming series, where you'll find ways to get into remembering your dreams and getting into lucid dreaming. Alright? But alright, you already know that because you are so far in this already. You should already be remembering your dreams. Okay, so it's like when you dream and you find yourself on a different plane, on the astral plane, on the mental plane. You find yourself in another body, at another place, in another city, with people around you that you don't know when you wake up, but when you're there, you know them. So you find yourself in a different place. That's just another projection of who you are. Alright? That's another projection. There's tons of different dimensions, and there's tons of projections of who you are. All you're doing is linking up to that projection, linking up to that projection, linking up to that projection. And the more you link up to different projections, the more enlightened you get, and the more godly you get, the more you remember who you've always been, which is a God. So we are multi-dimensional beings. We are eternal beings. Your true purpose is remembering who you are, remembering your godly self, connecting to your godly self, connecting to self, true self. That's your true purpose. We're trying to develop that memory that's been lost. It's like waking up from a dream and you gotta stay in your bed and be still in order to remember that dream. You're trying to reach for that dream, reach for those memories. That's what we're doing. So whether it's meditation, whether it's crystals, whether it's awareness techniques, whether it's visualization techniques, whether it's affirmations, subliminal messages, whether it's sigils, whether it's just whatever you do to connect yourself with self, that's time well spent. Whatever you do to develop consciousness, spiritual consciousness, enlightened consciousness, is life well spent. That's your true purpose. That's what you are here for. That's all I think that is beyond important. That's all that you should be focusing on, is connecting yourself with true consciousness, true purpose. Yes, we are this projection as well, which is a human being, so we do human things. But the more we connect to our godly self, the more we start portraying the fruits of godly self, which is unconditional love, which is gratitude, which is forgiveness, and all of these things will show the world what they are. Show the people around us that they are just more, they are more than just this physical body. These are the fruits of God. All of these vibrations, all of these different aspects of consciousness are fruits of God. Okay? So the more you spend time developing your consciousness, the more you become more aware of who you are, and the more you remember who you are. See, all we're doing is trying to peel back all that has been taught to us over the years. We've been taught how to talk like a human, how to walk like a human, how to feel like a human, how to think like a human. And these are all things that we need to peel off, to shed off, because we are gods. You are God, I'm a God, we are God. So we need to learn how to think like a God, how to feel like a God, how to act like a God. We need to become more godly. We need to embrace or merge with our godly self, with our godly feelings, with our godly emotions, with our godly thoughts, with our godly actions. We need to first ask ourselves, what would God do in this situation? You know? Another enlightened being was Jesus Christ. He was an enlightened being. Jesus Christ was just like any one of us. Just that he reached an enlightened, a fully enlightened point in his life. He started off with consciousness. He started off with asking questions. He started off with meditations, with techniques, with all of these things in order to reach an enlightened form where he said, I am God, and where he showed unconditional love and died on the cross. You see, those were fruits of God. Healing, all of these things that he did, all these miracles were just fruits of God. Those were just movements, actions, emotions, thought patterns of God. All the preaching, everything was just thought patterns of God. The more you become God, the more you realize that you start getting thought patterns, thought currents, thought vibrations, thought frequencies that are not your own. In the human form, that's logic. Alright? And when I say not your own, I mean that's logic that's coming from your logic brain. Alright? I'm talking about a higher consciousness, a higher thought pattern that will be downloaded into this brain, into the third eye, and you'll then decode it, and out your mouth it'll come. And then you just know that these thoughts are not my own. Oh my word, I would have never thought of that. You know? So the more you connect yourself, the more you remember who you are, the more you will remember who you are. Oh, yeah, okay. So all limitations will be cut away from you, because we're all the same person. When I talk person, I talk God. We all the same God, alright? So all that I can do is all that you can do, and all that he can do is all that we can do, is all that everyone can do is all that we can do. We're all the same person in godly sense, in conscious sense. We all the same. Only thing that separates us is how I look on the outside. My brain, my memories, those things are the only thing that says I'm saint and you are who you are. But we're all the same. So if I can tattoo, if I can do it, you can do it. It's just my memories have grown me to do it, like taught me to do it. The same way society and everything has taught us to be human beings. If you grew up and you were taught how to tattoo from birth, you would have been a pro tattoo artist by now. I would have been a super pro tattoo artist by now. I just picked up tattooing like 6 years ago. So you would have been pro at whatever you were taught to do. So we all can do these things. The only limits that are set on us is the limitations we put on ourselves. And a God, when you realize that you are God, you realize that there's no limits on God. There's no limits. We are all multidimensional beings. We all capable of everything. All things are possible through God. All things are possible through you. Alright? You can do everything. You are powerful. You are eternal. You will never, ever, 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 ever die. The only thing will die is this body. You will never die. The true you will never die. That's why at funerals, I ask myself why people are crying. Because that person lives within you. It lives with that God lives within all of us. We are all God. So if you pass on right now, you will still live within me. Because the same consciousness, the same collective consciousness, the same godly essence, particles are all within me. We all one. The only thing that separates you from me is your memories of who you are and the memories of who I am. Saints, which is just a projection, which is just the body, just the shell that's going to be laid to rest. And I will leave this shell in my spiritual self, and my spiritual self is you. So the only thing we're crying about when it comes to funerals is the memories we shared with the person. That's all. And even those memories are going to fade one day, because you will fade one day, and the true you will leave this temple. Okay? So you are God, I am God, and all things are possible. When I say all things are possible, I even mean spiritual things, psychic things, all these psychic gifts that people say they have, which we all have. I know sometimes they say that, hey, you can be clairaudient and hear spirits and hear higher dimensional vibrations and beings and stuff like that, but it's hard to be clairvoyant where you can. Let me tell you something. You can be everything and anything you want. The only limits is the ones you place on yourself. The only limits that you say that, it's going to take me so long to be able to achieve that goal, or achieve that gift, or achieve that ability or power. That's the only limits. You putting your own limits on yourself. You are God. The only thing that we're trying to do, the only thing that's going to take long for you to achieve those gifts or achieve those powers or abilities is the remembrance that you already know how to use these things. That's the only thing we are trying to achieve. And when you see someone else who can do it, then you know that you can do it. Because you and that person are one. These gifts are not a physical thing. When we're talking consciousness and we're talking psychicness, or we're talking spirituality, we are not talking about physical stuff. We're not talking about 3D stuff. This chair and this table, and we are not talking about 3-dimensional stuff. We're talking about 4D and above. I will drop a video that speaks about 3D, third dimension, fourth dimension, you know, and fifth dimension and above. Alright, we're talking about things that are not physical in a sense. Alright, matter. We're talking about vibrations, we're talking about energy, we're talking about frequencies, we're talking about things that are higher. So if we're not talking about the physical body, if we have to say that the physical body is out of the question, alright, we are talking about the godly essence. So if that person is using their godly essence to heal the sick, heal the blind, heal the deaf, walk on water, see spirits, hear spirits, travel to other dimensions, astral project, lucid dream, all of these things, if that person is using their godly self, then wouldn't it be safe to say that you can do it? Because we are talking about the godly sense, and the godly sense within you is capable of everything. Anything that you can ever think about, it's capable of. Astral projection, teleportation, levitation, all of these powerful things, it is capable of. So, if he can do it or she can do it, I can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. We all can do it. Because we're not talking about because the physical body has been limited by our belief systems, by the friends around us, by family, by doctrines, by all of these things, by society. All of these things have been telling us that it's a human body, that it can't go through walls, that it is physical, is three-dimensional. So let's put that aside and say, what can the godly us do? The godly us can do everything. There's nothing that's impossible for the godly us. So when I say you speak words of power, my previous video, you speak your own reality into creation. When I say that, you create your own reality, thought patterns, then your emotions, your speaking. I'm talking about the godly self. So the godly self says, I am rich, and instantly it's rich. So instantly you bring what's from a higher dimension into the 3D dimension. Because the 4D dimension says I'm rich, and instantly it's rich. And it takes its time for the 3D to remember being rich and being able to have everything and being able to be limitless. And then it comes down to the 3D person. And the 3D person then becomes rich. So there's a client at my door, but I'm going to end this now. So you are limitless, and everything is possible, and everything that you believe to be impossible is actually possible. So thank you so much for being here. You are God. You are more than what society says you are, and you are more than your physical body. And this is what I'm trying to teach you all. As soon as you put this foundation as God, then everything else that I speak about on my channel, you will tune yourself to know that it is possible. And you'll be so open-minded to everything. Alright? You'll be open-minded to angels, to demons, to spirits, to aliens, to higher dimensional frequencies, to crystals, to everything that you thought that you did not believe in as the humanoid. You'll realize that as the human being, you'll realize that it is possible when you tune yourself to your godly self, to your higher self, to your true self. Okay? So it's all about remembering to be true selves. Okay, thank you so much, gods, for being here. Thank you so much for listening to this video, for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell icon if you haven't hit that already, so you don't miss out on anything. We are all gods, and thank you. Or actually, should I say, we are God, because we won. And I'll see y'all next time on the next video. In love and light and in respect, I leave you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Saint Lucid signing out. Holla.